Hey guys. Okay, so I am doing a voiceover. Sorry, I'm not used to doing a voiceover, but we are moving along. Okay, so I've just got a piece of black paper. Now the Couture paper is cut at 8 by 9.5. That's my working page. That's the page that will be glued down to the base page. Sometimes I'm going to be making it black, and sometimes I'm going to be using the different cardstocks that I have. Okay, so I took the black and I just put the 1/2 inch to make the flap on it so that I can connect it to my working page. And you saw me do the little pencil mark, so I measured it so that I could start cutting it down to get it to the size I want. I've started doing that over measuring it out with a ruler. It makes it a lot easier, and with the cutters, then you didn't always have to have it opened up for measurements and stuff like that. So sometimes I do measurements, but basically when I'm kind of getting the papers, the base pages and stuff like that done, because I want them to all be the same size. But then once those are done, and the working pages, I cut those with the cutter. I don't mark those up. I cut those by measurement. And but then as I'm working off this working base, pretty much all I'm doing now is just using the pencil, making marks on it and that kind of stuff. So you will see me doing that more and more. I really enjoy it. It makes the crafting go along a lot faster, and I just enjoy it a lot more. So I love this Couture paper. I have had this. This is not like the remix or remake of it. This is the original when it came out. And I never really got a ton of it when it came out, and so I've been waiting a long time to use this, just like I've done with a lot of my stuff. Now there you saw me where I kind of missed getting some of that. It gets kind of difficult when I have a tripod on my desk, and it actually the one leg of the tripod is in between my arms. It's like right at my chest. So you pretty much cannot see, like what's like, to be able to look down and see what's going on. And I have to hold it a little further away from me than I would normally craft. So, and most of the time I'm not seeing it from this view, from your view, when I'm crafting. So it's kind of interesting to really have to be in the moment here and talk to you about what I'm doing. So pretty cool. I love this. I don't know, this is a Martha Stewart, but I don't know what it's called, but it's really, really pretty. And it's strong enough that it's not going to really get ripped up and stuff as you use it. So yeah, I like it, and it lends itself to the air of the paper. So yeah, good stuff. I did a little Vanna thing there, but I don't remember what I was trying to do. I found myself when I know that I'm going to have to do a voiceover, I've found myself doing kind of like a Vanna thing. Look at this. This is what I want to explain to you, and I'm like running my hands or doing something, and I'm like, oh my god. Woo, thinking. See, that's my brain working with my little fingers flipping fingers. Okay. This is a really pretty die I just got. Let me see. Where are you? Oops. It is an Elizabeth Craft Designs. And the name of the die is I have no idea. Wow. Moda Scrap Lace Card. There it is. Lace Card. It's number 1502, Elizabeth Craft Designs. Whoops. But yeah, I just got that not too terribly long ago, and I really think it's purty. It's purty. Okay, yep. Now, that paper that my cutter is on is from the, I think, what is it, Master Detective? I try showing it to you in a little while. I don't think you're actually able to see it. I'm just getting used to this cutter, so it takes me a little bit longer. That looked like I just kind of threw that page away, just pow! You know, I do watch my own videos when I'm done, but half the time it's just to make sure that there's no skipped, you know, like there's not some great foul up. I have done videos, put them online, and then like my girlfriend will call me and say, what the heck's wrong with your video? And I'll go and watch it, and it'll be like going click, 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 or you know, something weird. And so usually when I'm watching it, I'm just making sure that there's no like big foul ups. I mean, you get what you get with me. I don't normally edit things out unless it's just something that's super duper boring, you know, repetitive or whatever. So, you know, and I'm trying to keep the videos down. I don't know. So most of the time, you get what you get with me. But anywho. Okay, so we're going to put those aside. Now I think here is where, yeah, this is not from the Couture line. This is from Master Detective. I think that's what it's called. It's a Graphics 45 paper, but I think the colors in this one work beautifully with the Couture line, at least with this little section that I'm doing. It might not look good with all of it, but, and here's my trusty little pencil, and this pencil is a Tinkerbell pencil that I got from Disney World. Gosh, it's been about 7 years now that I've been there. Yep, but I found my Tinkerbell pencil not too long ago and sharpened that puppy right up. Trying to find my pencil mark. It's the only hazard. Especially on the busier papers, you got to kind of get that pencil to shine in the light. Ooh, it's so pretty. Okay. Now let's see if I remember that my pencil went over to the left. Oh, I did. Dang, that was good. Maybe I should play some music or something. No, that wouldn't work. Boo 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 boo. Oh, let's put all of us asleep. All right, back to crafting. Back to crafting. All right. I think that looks scrumdiddlyicious. I think I'm looking to see if I have any little bits of black paper that is gonna fit, and I'm still trying to use that new dye that I got. I thought I'd like it with the paper, so I took a couple of tidbits that I had when I was doing some other die cuts, and I die cut out a couple of those. So I kind of like doing that, so then it's already done, and when I'm in the middle of crafting, I don't like have to turn around and run one. It's done. So anyway, so yeah, I had to start a whole new sheet for this because I didn't have any squaps big enough. Dang, it takes me a long time to line everything up, doesn't it? But, you know, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Got my little pencil marks on there. I'm going to be cutting now. So I started, I think I put it on my Facebook page, but got an email, and I don't know how long they've been doing it. Apparently they were doing it before, but it was under a different name. So I don't know if they started just this year or if it's been going on. Maybe one of you guys know. But Spellbinders has got 3 different card kits, or not card kits. One of them is a card kit, and then there's 2 die kits, and so there's 3 different prices. And so I got the large die kit, and so once a month they're going to send me a large die and some ideas on what I can do with that die and that kind of thing. So I'm thinking that when I get that I'm probably going to do a card or something, or I'll use the die in whatever it is that I'm working on at the time. So I'm thinking I'm going to do something like that. I'm not really good at making cards. I don't like spending a whole lot of time making cards because I think for me personally 90% of the people I send them to throw them away. So you know, why do you want to spend all that time making cards? Now I have a couple of people that do appreciate handmade cards and beautiful cards, and so I do spend the time to make cards for them. But yeah, and you know, there's nothing wrong with people who just throw cards away. It's okay. It's okay. I used to be one of those. But if it's handmade, I don't throw it away. And now I hardly throw any cards away I get in the mail, because I always cut them up and use them for other things. Okay, I'm sorry. Back to what I was doing. I flipped the page over so I could make the pencil marks, and the flap is going to be on the bottom of the page, but when you flipped it over, I will then be working at the top of the page, which will coincide with the bottom of the page when you flipped it over. And I'm just cutting right along the pencil mark so that with my little craft knife there, so that this little flap will fit right in there. I've been seeing a lot of people do this. This used to be pretty popular. Wow. 4 or 5 years ago, and then you kind of didn't see a whole lot of people doing it. Now they're kind of back doing it again. I don't know. Things change. Trends. But it does make a much neater surface. You know, and especially there, you flip it open and you don't have the black sticking there. It's all underneath. I prefer putting my pockets the same way if it's an option. So right now I am popping all of the working page to the back side of the flap so that I can open the flap up all the way and get the glue on it like that, because I know I want to use my ATG. And then you'll see me when we finish this part and flip it back over, where I flip it back behind again, because behind the flap is where you're going to want it to stay, not in front, because you want to be able to open it. Now I'm going to flip it back behind, and when I open it, it'll kind of make sense that that way the flap, you know, it works nice and smoothly. So now I'm going to flip it back over, and just so that that will stay back there where I need it to stay, I'm putting on my tape. There you go. There she blows. Good. And that'll keep that from moving around anymore. Just makes it all nice and secure. Now here's my magnets, because I am going to have that magnetized, baby. It's going to be magnetized. And yep, put it on the inside. You always want to put your magnets so that there's the least amount of pages in between the magnet as possible. So you wouldn't want to put the magnet on the top part of that flap. You're going to put it on the underneath, because then you have less pages to go through. Yeah, the metal part, the shiny part was coming off of the magnets. Now that doesn't make the magnet work any better, it just makes it prettier. There, take that off. And you just want, when you have glue on one side of that magnet, you want to hold it, click, click. I wanted the special effects department to get their work in, because you know, when people open and close and you hear the magnet click, that way you know there's a magnet in there. I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want you to miss that. But anyway, yeah, and then I totally forgot what I was saying to you. Holy Hannah, I tell you. But the more, you know, the more paper you get in there, and then you also start adding photos and all that kind of stuff. You just want to make sure you're really paying attention to what's going to work best for you. Okay, now this green paper is from the Artisan Style collection, and I liked this green. It picked up a lot of the different greens in this paper line, so you know, I need all of the extra paper I can get for this, so I've been stealing from everyone. cutting, cutting, cutting. Now I've got my little pencil marks, I just have to find them. Alright. This is a new cutter for me, and I'm gonna do a video on it, tell you how I like it and all that kind of stuff. And I've been amazing myself at how well I am remembering to ink all of my papers. Inking, yeah, because I'm usually horrible at that. I'm usually got half of it inked up and the other half is not, which is, you know, is not good. Take your good girl. See, I'm yelling at me just like you guys would be yelling at me if you're watching. Well, if you're not watching it, then you won't be yelling at me anyway. And rub. And I actually am putting a fair amount of pressure on there, but it doesn't look like I'm putting a fair amount of pressure on there. But you always want to, especially when you're working with wet glue, you always want to really put a fair amount of pressure and really smooth that down so you don't see squiggly marks from the glue. I hate when I get the squiggly marks when the paper's dried and you can see that. I don't like that. Anyway, so now I'm just trying everything out for size again. I'm trying to actually, what I'm trying to do here is figure out if I want to put a magnet on the big flap, which in hindsight, I probably would have liked to have put one at the top, middle, and bottom, because the flap is, or actually cutting the flap another 3/4 to an inch shorter would have worked better, because the flap gets, and I still can't figure out exactly what it's doing, but there's a certain way that I'm turning the book and it bends the little flaps over. So you got to kind of think on that. And now you did see me before this part put my paper on there like I was measuring it again. You know, yes, you cut it, it measures, it fits it, you've already cut it. What I do is I look at what the paper looks like when I get it lined up the way I want it. So I know how much black is showing all the way around. And if there's one side that's maybe a little off that I need to account for or something. Because there was score tape involved, not just glue. And so, you know, once it's down, it's down. And so I wanted to be able to match my corners up the way they needed to be matched up. So, just a little tidbit there. Now here I'm trying to put it on the left-hand side of the score mark and line it up top and bottom. And there you go. And that worked very nicely. I always want to make sure you want to burnish. Always burnish or rub with your hand really well. That's going to move that glue around. Yeah, a little bit of goop coming out of there. I'm feeling where that magnet is. seeing if I'm still trying to figure out if I want to do a magnet or not. But it's like, it's too far inland to make any difference. I'm just checking how it looks in the book. Oh, it looks beautiful. Beautiful. But again, this is where I'm seeing exactly what it's going to look like, so that when I do get the glue on it and turn it around, that I'm going to know exactly how I'm going to want it to land. It looks like I'm going to glue it down. And there is a second section to this, so you will be getting part 2, because I think I spoke. But if we continue here much longer, then you'll know that I'm wrong. Get that glue on there. Get that glue on there. This is that art glitter glue. I really do like this glue. It works very well. And now, having looked, and I know exactly where this is fitting on here, it just makes it that much easier. You get that look, that view in your eyes of what it is it's supposed to be. And there you go. You want to feel and make sure that all of that glue is getting really nicely rubbed. Really nicely rubbed down. Smooshed around. Smooch it. Smooch it! Okay, now thinking. See, there goes the fingers. What am I going to do? Oh, and thinking. Am I going to do anything on that side? I don't know. People, I don't know. I'm sorry. These are beautiful papers. Beautiful. I'm grabbing my book because I honestly don't remember what I ended up using. Oh, no, wasn't that one. I had to look. I didn't remember. Wasn't that one. See, now that one totally work. But I wasn't really ready to put that one in like the first page, because that's not one of the fancier ones. That would have totally worked as well. That's a bit busy for that page. I didn't want it to rob, and that fights. That's too busy too. I did not want to rob anything away from the Couture girl. And yeah, I see that it's the same as what's on the side there, but too busy. Now there is the other Couture girl. Now that's the paper that I could never figure out what the heck it was. It's this girl, the big girl on the left hand side. It's that girl in that dress on a, you know, over and over and over again. I couldn't figure out what it was until I got a close-up view. When I would see other people, that just looked very strange to me. So I do end up using Couture Girl there. Which, I don't know, I don't think that was really the best choice, but it's the choice that I made. to use that paper somewhere. Yeah, that's the only paper. But there is enough of the blue in that base, that first page there, from the stamp, and from these stamps that are on there, that it's okay. It's good. Cutting. Gotta find my pencil mark. Okay. I have to thank you all, that you guys that watched my studio. Well, I don't know if I call it studio. Craft room tour, that's it. I got a lot of really wonderful responses from that. And I've been getting some good comments, very nice comments on the first two from this album. Now there's that die. That's that Elizabeth Craft lacy pocket is what it's called. Now I'm trying to find something else that is going, that's going to go down on the black part of the lacy pocket there. Because as you see it so far, not with the red paper there, but as you see it so far, that's how it gets used. I am looking through my scraps as we speak. You can't see it, it's off to the side. I do apologize for that, but and that's my elbow, my little indented elbow. I've always had a funky indented elbow all my life. There you go. Now you got a little more tidbit about me. I think there is a scrap that I find. That's not it. And that I don't end up using that. It's, I mean, that teal paper with the lady in it is, the lady in the black dress is pretty busy enough. God only knows what I was thinking. I know one thing I was thinking was, I've got to use this paper, so why not use it here? There. Whoopsie. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. We are done, and I'll catch you on part 2, which I don't know how long that's going to be. See ya.